6 p.m. in Gbeke, you follow weekly news on Gbeke FM. International Days of Women's Rights, a day celebrated all over the country. International workshop on Newsroom conflict management. Côte d'Ivoire took part to the training in Nairobi, Kenya. Côte d'Ivoire is one of the best countries of Africa. Ivory Coast in the spotlight, a report to be followed at the end of this edition. Good evening and welcome. The women of Gbeke in the central region of Côte d'Ivoire celebrated International Women's Days on Friday, March 8, 2024. The women of the regions actively participating in these events demonstrated their commitment to gender equality. Several civil society organizations and non-governmental organizations took part to this celebration alongside the authorities of the regions. The theme chosen for this celebration is Investing in Women, Accelerating the Pace. Heading to Mans in west of Côte d'Ivoire, just like in the other regions of the country, the Tonpi region celebrated International Women's Days in Mans, the capital of the regions. The Ivorian Association of International Visitors sensitized more than 500 young girls on reproductive health and female leadership. Gervais Gere, president of the IVLP, urged the young girls to take responsibilities and engage in support of their community. You will have more detail in our upcoming edition. Gender inequality is a topic associated with International Women's Day. Since the establishment of these days, several female leaders have spoken out on the issue. Follow the best pages on gender inequality, a selection of Reuters.
In one voice, the world declared, human rights are women's rights, and women's rights are human rights.
Women are not even accepted as human beings. They are treated with injustice and inequality. Women are denied. They are neglected, even in the developed countries.
I am from Britain, and I think it is right that I am paid the same as my male counterparts. I think it is right that I should be able to make decisions about my own body.
I will not be lectured about sexism and misogyny by this man. I will not. And the government will not be lectured about sexism and misogyny by this man. Now looking at his watch because apparently a woman's spoken too long.
So I think right now we have the chance to be heard, and that's why we're doing it. We're all doing it because we're asking to try and elicit change.
How do we use this moment to elevate what is happening instead of continually victimize ourselves?
It's our responsibility to make this world a better place. Yes, we play sports. Yes, we play soccer. Yes, we're female athletes, but we're so much more than that.
The women's movement of this world has mellowed. Our issues and our conversation has become issues for men. I get angry when I think about it. No woman should sit down and allow a man to speak about her reproductive rights. Until you've gone through that process, I've come from Africa to tell you you don't qualify.
Heading to Nairobi, Kenya, where a workshop on conflict management is a newsroom took place recently. Around 20 journalists and editors attended to that important training organized by Aga Khan University, Nairobi, and CAS Media Sub-Saharan Africa. Côte d'Ivoire was the first French-speaking country at that meeting. Participants react at the end of the training.
Well, I have gotten to understand that conflict is part of human life. There can't be two people or more under one roof and there will not be conflict. So immediately I now understand that conflict is not negative as we always think conflict is, but we can work our way around conflict so that we make it positive to help us to grow, to help us to develop in the newsroom and even in our entire life wherever we tend to find ourselves. I've also learned about the types of conflicts that exist in a typical newsroom or in a media station, and how we can go about it. It's not all that we can solve, especially the newsroom conflict and the boardroom conflict. Sometimes those are very difficult for the news room to solve. But if there is some newsroom conflict, that is editor, reporter, and all those things, there's a way we can go around it to solve it. And also how gender issues also contribute to conflict in the newsroom, and how we can all work around making either a male reporter or a male editor safe in the newsroom.
And I'm sure that from these courses I can collaborate with many journalists coming from English-speaking countries. I've already started with Ghana, Star FM. There are some Italian journalists that joined me last week. I've been trained and I start investigation. And my last words is go on thinking Cast Media.
It's really impressive and remarkable workshop. We learn a lot how to manage, how to navigate in a conflict newsroom, and how to deal with the difficult people. It was memorable, and it's learning. Also, we learn how to manage how to use emotional intelligence to lead the people. We build a network with diversity from African communities. It was participated by the different perspectives come from different media houses and different countries in the continent. We interact, we learn each other, we share information, we share knowledge.
We go near the end of this edition. Côte d'Ivoire is one of the best and most attractive countries in Africa according to visitors, with enormous socio-economic, cultural and tourist potential. Côte d'Ivoire captivates the first-time visitors. Côte d'Ivoire in the spotlight. Follow this report by Perspective by me.
Did you know that the Ivory Coast, also known as Côte d'Ivoire, has one of the fastest growing economies in Africa? This economic growth is directly influencing its real estate market, making it a hub of opportunities. Today, we dive into the current trends and key points of this emerging market. The Ivory Coast is currently experiencing a real estate boom. The country's robust economic growth, coupled with a rapidly increasing urban population, is driving demand for real estate. Across the spectrum, from residential to commercial and industrial spaces, there's an upsurge in construction activities. In the residential sector, the demand for affordable housing is skyrocketing. The government's strategy to promote affordable housing for middle and low-income earners is opening up a wealth of opportunities in the real estate sector. Notably, this trend isn't just confined to the bustling city of Abidjan. It's spreading across the entire country, from Yamoussoukro to Bouak, making it a nationwide phenomenon. Switching over to the commercial real estate sector, there's a growing trend towards modern, high-quality office spaces. As the Ivory Coast's economy diversifies, many multinational corporations are setting up offices in the country. This has led to a rise in demand for premium office spaces, especially in the economic capital, Abidjan. Moreover, the industrial sector is not left behind. The government's push towards industrialization has led to an increase in demand for industrial real estate, such as warehouses and factories. This trend is evident in the growth of industrial parks in cities like Abidjan and San Pedro. However, this boom also presents challenges. The rapid urbanization and population growth have led to issues like inadequate infrastructure and housing shortages. These are areas that need urgent attention to sustain the growth of the real estate market. To summarize, the Ivory Coast real estate market is on an upward trajectory. It's driven by robust economic growth, rapid urbanization, and increasing demand across all sectors: residential, commercial, and industrial. The government's initiatives towards affordable housing and industrialization are further fueling this growth. However, challenges like inadequate infrastructure and housing shortages pose a threat to this growth. It's essential for stakeholders, including government, real estate developers, and investors, to address these issues to ensure sustainable development of the real estate market. So there you have it. The Ivory Coast real estate market is a dynamic and evolving landscape, filled with opportunities and challenges. It's a market that's worth keeping an eye on for anyone interested in real estate investment in Africa. With its current trends and future prospects, the Ivory Coast may just be the next big thing in the African real estate scene.
Here is the end of this news session. Thanks to follow us and keep in touch.